Greetings, greetings from Jamaica. If this is your first video of me, um, it's been 1 week and 3 days post Hurricane Melissa, and life has been lifing really hard. I, for one, personally, was not really like severely affected. As you can see, I still got a roof. I still have a roof. I still live somewhere. No light or water. So, that there's that. But, at least I can go outside and access these utilities and do what I need to do, right? Um, at least I have employment or a means of earning so that I'm able to go out and go to a cafe and then pay extra money to just have access to light and internet and pay for the trash food or whatever it is, just to use the space to do work or whatever. So I'm still very much grateful, but at the same time, it's such a heavy time right now. And as someone that feels deeply and feels deeply and a lot, you know, like the entire collective right now, it's very it's very sad, it's very depressing in the midst of everyone screaming resilience and blah and all of these things, and all of that is great. And you know we, especially as black people, we like to be the face of resilience and what that looks like, just based off our very tragic and very traumatic history, or recent history, because our history started hundreds of thousands of years ago, right? As black people, as African people. But just like, the last, for 400 or 500 years, really and truly, we've become this face of resilience and strength and this and that. And I just want people to understand that, hey, it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to break down and cry. It's okay to feel how you feel and feel your emotions and go through them and work through them, and not all the time trying to be strong or resilient, because I feel like that is at the extreme of the other end of the spectrum, right? Where you're not acknowledging, you're not validate your feelings, and that is just being trapped under this, oh, I have to be strong for whoever it is and what that looks like, right? Because apparently strength looks like something that is void of emotion. So you can't be strong and cry at the same time, apparently. And I really wish our people, Jamaicans specifically right now, would understand that it's okay to go through the feelings, because it's a very tragic time right now. At least five out of the 14 parishes of Jamaica is devastated, like devastated. Like the shit that you see on the news is honestly on the ground does not compare. It's devastating. And so, I myself just trying to help as much as possible, with the little that I can do, and just trying to be okay with that, because that is also something I struggle with. Like, is this enough? Am I doing enough? You know what I mean? And I've started this campaign and just trying to get funds together to be able to um, distribute, go into these different communities and try to spread the urgent need and relief around, because a lot of these big corporate um, donations, campaigns, and groups, they're very much focused on one particular space or one particular community. Some of them for ulterior motives, some of them just because that's the first place they see, and they just really zone in on that. And a lot of the internal or far-reached communities is not being touched, not getting any help. A lot of the help is going to the townships or the main areas, and so the campaign that I'm running now is really to try to get into the crevices as best as I can, of course, to also help my loved ones and my family and just relatives and other people who I care about, to get their life back together, you know. So there's that. But back to the point, of just working through your feelings and being, flexible enough to understand that crying or working through being depressed, being sad, being all of these things does not mean that you're not strong, does not mean that you're not resilient, right? In the midst of the storm, was observing this very, I can't really show you because my camera is not that great, but um, outside my window, there is this, did you see the window? Um, there's this very lanky guava tree, you know, and throughout the whole storm, I was just observing it just moving and swaying, and it was fruiting, right? It was a fruiting tree at the time, and after everything is said and done, the tree is still there with a lot of its leaf and even some of the fruit. And just observing it during the hurricane, it just got me to think about how, you know, about life, and about how we as people, need to live to survive, like really, like trying times. And we are in trying times right now, right? Um, just in our own countries, in our own communities, in our own corner of the world, and extending to the entire world. If you're observing, if you're watching the news, if you're reading, if you're really tapping into what is happening, it's a really fucked up time right now. Like, you know what I mean? And so to be able to move and flex and adapt is the best way forward, right? That is how nature intended for us to live and coexist. You know, it's just so sad that as human beings we've kind of strayed from that and just kind of believe in this rigidity and this, oh, we have to be strong. Back to that, right? We have to be strong, we have to be this, we have to be rooted in one spot and not move. And that honestly is going to get you killed faster than anything else. And it just made me really want to be more like that guava tree outside, in my own life, to be able to in the face of adversity, no matter how powerful it comes at you, to be able to flow and bend and flex, because that's literally how you're going to survive. That's how survival works. Like if you really try to be rigid in situations, that's a surefire way for you to lose, right? Because life in general is meant for flow. Yeah, the water, how water moves, how everything in life moves in accordance to the cycles, day and night, and everything else flows. That's how the life on this planet, other life forms, other beings, other things have been able to survive millions of years on this globe, on this sphere, or flat. I don't know if you're gonna argue flat Earth or round Earth. That's how they've been able to survive, and we as human beings have gone through 4 to 5 different extinctions, right? Because flexibility. And so that just makes me think about how I want to live my life. Like, I want to be able to truly be adaptable, to see the situation for what it is, to one, work through it and not invalidate my feelings, to work with my feelings and work through my feelings, to acknowledge the feelings, to name it, to not be afraid to feel it, and also move and flow with said feelings, right? To be able to um, adapt to the situation, and also be true to myself as a structure, routine, loving person, right? I'm a Capricorn, so structure, routine, love it, it's great. Love a spreadsheet, love a list to check off. Great, love that. But that is my one of my blind spots, right? So I'm very much a true Capricorn where that is concerned. So I have had to be working through how can I be more fluid, more flexible, more adaptable, and not be like, okay, this is what it is and this is what it is forever, bitch. Um, because that's not helping me. That's not helping you. That's doesn't help anybody really. Um, and so yeah, this whole hurricane, post hurricane, is just been a massive journey and learning curve for me, for everybody in Jamaica really, because when it comes to infrastructure, a lot of that shit has to change, has to adapt to the new uh, normal that is life right now. The earth is several degrees warmer, and now weather conditions are going to be even more intense. So we can't be like, yeah, that bike outside. I live near a road, right? um with these more devastating weather conditions due to climate change and whatnot. Obviously, no real fault of ours in the quote unquote third world or the South, because as we know, most of this shit that's happening, destruction of the ozone and the cause of the climate change is due to modern first world consumption and shit, right? Um, that's a different debate, different video altogether. But really and truly, we have to adapt our infrastructure as a country to be able to withstand these things. You know what I mean? We can't build a house the same way. We can't, organize our life or livelihood or how we grow our food, how, all of these things we really have to sit down and reconsider, right? um and so that's basically what I wanted to jump on here and talk about, just like in the wake of this destruction, how can we, one, work through our feelings, validate and accept our feelings, and not run away from it or feel like feeling it makes us any less off or less strong or less resilient. And two, adaptability. How can we adapt and flex and move with the flow of things so that we don't get trampled under the feet of the new world, you know? Um, and so, life in Jamaica has been very somber. The energy just has been very heavy. And so, officially, thank you all, whoever is watching this. Thank you all for prayers, support, in any way, shape, or form that you have been giving us or sending to us. But also, real quick, not even real quick, but real quick, just to insert it here, Jamaica is not the only one that was affected by this, uh, I'm going to say, unnaturally strong hurricane. Do with that information as you will. That's another video. But unnaturally strong hurricane, we were not the only ones affected. And I really want the rest of the world to understand that and to support other countries as well. And I mean, there's a lot of politics behind, obviously, why Jamaica is the poster child of this hurricane. When Cuba was destroyed, when Haiti was devastated, when Bahamas, I believe it went through as well, was also affected. Um, Many other countries were affected, and basically nothing in the media. It was all Jamaica, 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 and that's great. I am Jamaican, but also I'm a child of the Caribbean. I'm a child of the world, and so I want more attention to be paid to the other countries that were also severely affected by this hurricane, this natural disaster, right? Um, there's a whole lot of politics and fuckery pushing that agenda, and I know that, and other ones who have sense and them eyes open will understand that. But I want the regular folks that are not involved in this whole bureaucracy, red tape, fuckery politics to really and truly look into yourself, do the work in terms of self work, and really think to yourself like, okay, at the end of the day, these people are people. Like, these people, they're human beings. Fuck these politicians and what they got going on, because people, actual people, are suffering, are dying, are sick, need help. You know what I mean? and do that and act upon that. Do what you can from where you are, however you can, you know. Um, Also, do the research. Start really, truly doing the research and stop accepting what these systems have fed you with in your education systems, to your media, all of these things. Stop just taking all of that shit, because all of that shit is biased and comes with ulterior motives that are not in accordance with humanity and truth and rights, and what is supposed to be uh, led with love. It's not. It's not. These people have their own agendas, their own whatever it is, and they make this whole system to be able to uh, 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 realize these things that they want to affect on the world. And so we as the regular people are the guinea pigs. So stop, take a break, yeah, look at the human beings that are in Cuba, Haiti, other parts of the world and Caribbean that have had this image um, painted of them. Look at them in the eye and really say, hey, I see you, and I'm here to support and help, right? Because all of this shit is not their fault. All of this shit is not about them. It's about what these politicians and world leaders got going on. And two, do your research, read books. Stop watching the media and going on Google to find shit about shit. Because at the end of the day, these entities are owned and propagated by these same world leaders and people with those same agendas. And so they're going to have and push the information that they want to have and push. You have to understand that I need to find the real truth about what is going on, has been going on, and move and work with that, right? So that is my message to you today, is be adaptable, flex and bend, uh, 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 do your research, do some self work, approach, these devastating events from a humanitarian and a human perspective, and not from a political and, oh, America versus whoever it is that America don't like, you know, right? And just live, man. Just live how we're supposed to live as people, as human beings. Peace out.